Hello everyone, it's me again, MX Shu. In the last few episodes, we've talked about the three political parties in Taiwan competing in the presidential election and the breakup of the short-lived blue and white marriage. In this episode, allow me to elaborate more about the founder of the Taiwan People's Party, and also its presidential candidate in the 2024 election,
柯文哲，
aka Ko P, i.e., Professor Ko. Not only was he a surgeon at National Taiwan University Hospital, but he was also a professor at National Taiwan University prior to his political career starting in 2014. Many supporters call him
阿北,
which means uncle in Taiwanese. As a little side note about global Chinese culture, an uncle or an aunt can refer to anyone who is in the age group of your parents' generation and not necessarily related by blood or through marriage. Ko P is 64 years old, and in the eyes of many supporters, he is the cool uncle that everyone likes. One thing that the polls and surveys in Taiwan have shown in common is that Ko P is widely supported by the younger generation and frowned upon by the baby boomers. Why is the difference of opinion so extreme? Many believe it is because of how traditional mainstream media outlets have depicted him based on their own political biases. Most media organizations in Taiwan have either completely sided with the DPP or the KMT. They can cherry-pick which news bits to report, and how to report them. And the political undertones from all the commentators on those platforms are very obvious. In a recent example on December 20th, in the first televised policy presentation among all presidential candidates, a pro-DPP channel inserted commercials during Ko P's speech and another pro-DPP channel edited out a critical part of his speech. And who are the people in Taiwan still getting news only from traditional media sources? The elderly. Ko P has an interesting public image. He always wears high-waisted pants paired with a worn-out belt. He scratches his head often when contemplating discussion topics or taking questions. He really likes peanuts, and sometimes he sprinkles them on his lunch, which is usually a common bento-style boxed meal. He spends very little time eating and always finishes his food without wasting anything, even if it means saving the leftovers for later. He appears to be diligent. He begins his work with a daily briefing at 7:30 a.m. when the required office starting time is 8 a.m. And working 15 hours a day is the norm for him. He is frugal. When he was mayor of Taipei, he took the bus to work and flew economy class on business trips. He seems intelligent. He claims that he scored a 157 on an IQ test, just like Elaine on Seinfeld. He speaks the truth and states the obvious like no other politician. He also apologizes for mistakes, even when criticized for his poor word choices or other gaffes, unlike many other politicians. During his 8 years as mayor of Taipei, from 2014 to 2022, he changed the organizational culture in the city government. To highlight a few of his achievements, Ko P shared all meeting minutes with the public online to prevent influence peddling. He directed staff to scan or digitize all official documents in electronic format to improve communication efficiency among the various city departments. He also implemented panel interviews within the city government for decisions on who to hire or whom to promote to higher ranking positions when he could have directly appointed staff to those positions. He also prohibited the use of disposable utensils in cafeterias at city offices and encouraged limiting the use of other disposable serving items at related institutions. Ko P started his personal YouTube channel in 2014 and has used the platform to promote his ideas and policies ever since. He is charismatic and engaging enough that young people tend to be willing to spend the time to hear him out. They say P has eaten the honest bean paste buns, and is like the little child who pointed out the emperor was wearing no clothes. P has admitted publicly that he shows the signs of Asperger's syndrome, even though he has never been diagnosed, which may explain why he sometimes appears socially awkward and drops the truth bombs that everyone else dares not drop. Another possible explanation of him being such an atypical politician is that he seems comfortable using plain, straightforward communication. As P has said before, back when he was practicing medicine, patients and their family would truthfully explain their conditions, whereas now in the field of politics, he realizes that rarely do people tell the whole truth. The 2024 presidential election is coming up in less than a month, and it sure feels like a generational competition as well as a virtual war between the traditional mass media and the online media outlets. Many P supporters believe he is being treated unfairly by the mainstream media and have decided to speak up and help him in any way they can contribute. Some have used YouTube channels to help disseminate P's policy perspectives and commentary on current events, spreading the news about P's campaign in the form of videos and shorts. P volunteers have produced songs and films to support the campaign. Some have even organized stunts, such as a walking tour from northern to southern Taiwan carrying a 15-pound inflated P balloon along the route. And most importantly, tons of small individual donations have flooded into P's campaign war chest, knowing that P and his TPP campaign team have limited resources and no large corporate sponsors. His supporters refer to themselves as 小草 or little blades of grass because they are resilient and abundant despite being small. The little grasslings show up at rallies voluntarily, which is totally unlike the other two parties who will bring supporters to their rallies in tour buses and offer them boxed lunches. Would you vote for a candidate like P? Do you think he has a chance to defeat the candidates from the larger parties? Let me know in the comments below. Please stay tuned and thanks for watching.